Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is The Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games and a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. You want to see more? Hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Motorsport Manager, and we are on episode number 5. We're heading into the South African Cape Town race. Very, very short track for this one. A lot of laps, just 2 miles in length, 76 laps. And we're going to take a look and see what is new, if anything, here with the car. Brakes still stock, have not touched the brakes, but you can see we do have a new engine that is now ready to go onto the car. So, Vern or Van Dorn is the question. Believe it or not, I know Van Dorn is by far the more popular driver in the world of motorsport, and now, Formula E driver after getting cut by McLaren. But Jean-Eric Verne is by far the higher rated driver, and actually higher marketing driver. So Jean-Eric Verne is going to be with this team long term, and he's going to have a little bit of an edge, a little bit of favorability with his car over Van Dorn. And Van Dorn will be the first to be replaced of these two drivers, especially because of the lower marketability, and they are making the exact same amount each season. We also have a new gearbox, but you can see the gearbox a little wishy-washy in terms of reliability, and it's not much of an improvement in performance, so not wanting to go there just yet, not at this point anyway. Just due to the reliability, really, not quite good enough. Don't want to run that risk. But new engine upgrade, we're coming along. The lack of engine power is definitely the biggest problem with this team. Now, Cape Town, if you haven't seen the track, it's very much suited more towards downforce and braking. So, not a big engine track, but still, lack of power, definitely keeping us at or near the back of the grid. So far through the first handful of races, first 4 races anyway, we've been in contention with the back of the field. And that's a big step. If you saw the previous series, we were just so far off the back with the custom-made team. And while this is a custom team, it is within the mod. It is not a team that I made from scratch. And that's the big difference, because creating the team from scratch really, really sets you back from where you could be. Now, let's go speed balance here. And what was that, 72 laps, something like that? Oh man, those super softs do not look like they would quite go the distance. We could be looking at, let's see, if that's 17, that'd be 34, and that's still not really enough. So a 2-stopper with ultras and softs, super softs, not necessarily looking like that could make it. It might be 1 stint on super softs and 1 on the ultras, and I really feel like I need to clarify how many laps that was. What was that, 72 laps? Dang it. Little frustrating. I don't have the exact number in my head. I know you just saw it moments ago, but I was talking my way through it, and I did not commit it to memory. I want to say it was 72 laps or 70 laps. Either way, these super softs are not going to actually go 35. That's before they hit 0. If you're driving this tire all the way down to 0%, yeah, good luck. You're going to lose 3, 4, 5 seconds, more like 2 to 3 seconds a lap after they go off the cliff. So, real drop in pace that you cannot afford, which means we're maybe looking more towards a 1-stopper on the softs, or maybe switch from softs to super softs. I think that's probably going to be where we're at. So 1-stopper with softs and super softs. That's kind of rough. I mean, you're going to put in a lot of laps on the soft tire and maybe that's where we need to get our bonus at in this one. So both cars are set for that. It looks like we're going to have to adjust the downforce as well to very high, and so let's go ahead and push towards that now. We'll go back to 50 now, and let's push this a bit more. There we go. And so doing the same here should be sufficient to kind of get us into that happy zone. And let's begin practice. See if we can't get this set up down very quickly. 25 minutes, it's a short run, and it takes a long time to get those bonuses. Race trim, of course, matters way more, especially with the team at the back of the grid that is going to qualify near the back. Unfortunately, we're going to waste 15 seconds here getting both cars switched from the qualifying to the race trim. As we head out on track, make sure we get these guys brought back in. It is a good thing that it is a short lap, at least for practice. %84 right off the bat. Not terribly good. Certainly could be better. You can see that's already going to push us, except for the handling, I think is going to need a bit more. So let's do that. Let's just go to the full 20 there. Oh, nice. Vern. Definitely a bit closer. 96%. Dang. Okay. Wow. Little tweak here. Little tweak there. Push through that. Bring in, bring in. If we moved Vern in the right direction, which we did, we got 2 purples on Van Dorn. That's actually a huge step. It's just the speed balance went the wrong way. That is a little too far. That's right where we were before, but we also moved this. 95, that's hard to say what that's going to get us. Let's see. We'll just go with that. I'm also going to send him out for a long stint because I know that's going to get us really close, probably 98%, I would imagine. And Vern is in a similar situation, but also closer, 97. Which means I think we might have moved the wrong way. If he only gained 1% and got 2 purples, I would imagine we went the wrong direction on the speed balance. So that needs to come back. Oh, I like that. That's going to be really close. So long run here as well. And we're going to let these two have a run. Wow, form not looking so good for Vern. Hopefully that picks up. And it is. He's already out of the red. Van Dorn's form looking pretty good. Level 1 bonus. Level 2's on its way. Tire heating looks good on these softs. I mean, you can push from time to time. Get a little extra pace out of it. I like that. And we're not saving fuel terribly quickly. So we're going to spend a lot of time on neutral. We'll be able to push some, and if we get lapped... Oh, pause. Ah, we just passed pit lane. Dang it. Bring in a whole extra lap here. What a waste, because we were at the time that we would have been able to... it was at 12.5. We would have probably made it to the full qualifying bonus as well. So 97%, that is acceptable. That is acceptable. So qualifying, 3 laps. Ultras. Okay, so 5 purple smiley faces is pretty good. 99% for Vern, and he's in the top car anyway, so that That makes me happy. Van Dorn, not quite there, but close enough. Oh, did I extend the laps? Yes, I did. Okay, good. Good. Alright, first lap out. We are going green. Going green. Van Dorn moves up. Vern moves up. That's good. That's without pushing. We should definitely get to level 2. I do not think we will make it to level 3, especially when they're going to be stopping again here in a little bit. This lap coming in, ready, and slow down. Same thing, 3 laps. Out there, get a good run. Here comes Vern. Fuel up. Not bothering to change tires as that takes time, even though we have plenty of tires. We're just in it for the bonuses. Level 2 has been achieved. Level 3, I'm not sure if we're going to make it. We might get there. We might get there yet. 2.5 minutes. Oh yeah, we'll make it. We're going to make it. We are going to make it. Boom, there it is. Level 3. Alright, go ahead and attack. Overtake. Tires are used, but what can you do with one hot lap? Can you go green? Final minute of the session. White first sector for Van Dorn. It looks like it's a little too late. Vern does go a little bit quicker through Sector 2 and Sector 3. And Vern betters his time. Even with 48% wear. And very quickly those tires went into the red zone. On to qualifying. With 30% bonus, that's the obvious way to go, even though the sweep spot would be nice. You can see about 4/10 in between them in practice there. Minutes to go. Looking dry. Van Dorn out there first. It's a pretty short lap, so we should easily be able to get 2 runs in for both drivers. Van Dorn just behind Verstappen. That's not a problem. Okay, here's our longest straight. Definitely our best time to get a little heat in, but cool it through the chicane. Tires are already about where we need them, but we got to make sure they don't cool off too much. Now it's about getting the brake temps down where we can. Okay, so perfect on the tires, brakes a little hot. Let's go ahead and get Vern going on his lap. Try to keep an eye on Van Dorn. It's always difficult to watch one driver while the other is on their flying lap. Half a second off in Sector 1. Not quite warm enough on the tires. Forgot that it's that long stint. 1.2 off the pace for Van Dorn. That is quite slow. Okay, tire temps are where they need to be. Brake temps obviously are way too hot though. A little bit of cooling there gets him right about the same place. Van Dorn's slowest so far, but he's only just over a 10th off of Grosjean's pace in the Haas. That's not too bad, even though it's 2.7 down. 10th behind, less than a 10th behind Perez. It's better than Magnussen's first lap. Vern is quite a bit slower there in Sector 1, but of course I don't know if what the time was compared to. Bottas is the quickest at the moment. Too flat. That's pretty bad. I think Vern looks like he's a bit off the pace here. He is going through a lot of traffic at the moment on that lap. 2.8, just behind his teammate, but at the moment we're ahead of Magnussen, Kubica, and Massa on time. That's looking at Q1 elimination here at the moment. Van Dorn. Let's see, that took about 4 minutes to get in and out, which means he would be just... Oh, rain is coming! Rain is coming! Van Dorn, go quick. Try to get that second run in, otherwise we are very much right where we are. I think it's going to be too late. I do not think he's going to get this in before the rain comes, but we will try. Right now, there's definitely more grip out there. They're going to really, really push because I do think that the rain is coming. Oh, there it is. Grip's going to go away quick. It's too late. It is too late. Brake temps are a little bit better. I do not think this lap is going to be good, though. I'm going to speed through here. Yeah, Van Dorn, it's coming in. Just bring it in. All right, well, P20, P21, that's it. It's better than Magnussen, Kubica, and Massa, at least. We're not in last. Yellow flag. Somebody spun out. So Bottas quickest in first qualifying session. Hulkenberg 5th fastest. Good for him. Haas definitely looks off the pace. Grosjean was only P17. And then, of course, beyond that, beyond Haas, it's the usual suspects at the back. Racing Point, Williams, and Alpine. Russell escapes, as does Fernando Alonso. Okay, we fly through Q2. Bottas, again, is quickest. Vettel and Hamilton. Leclerc, Hulkenberg not splitting the big six this time. And it's dry out there again. That's all ultras. Norris, Albon, Kvyat, Giovinazzi, Russell, Alonso eliminated here in Q2. Q3 starts dry, will stay dry, so it's just Q1. That means these guys will be locked in on the ultras for the race unless the race itself starts wet. Hamilton quickest, just faster than Bottas. Nobody improved their time on that final run, surprisingly. Vettel and Leclerc will have row 2, Verstappen and Gasly row 3, the Renaults in row 4. Hulkenberg had been the quickest through the first 2 qualifying sessions, but Ricciardo turns it on. And then Grosjean, right, out of nowhere, goes 9th quickest after how slow Haas was in Q1. Very surprising that they were able to turn it on in the end, or at least Grosjean was, qualifying much, much higher than his teammate. Sainz, Raikkonen, and Stroll round out the top 12. Those guys are all going to be on used ultras to start the race unless it's raining and gets unlocked. And the race will start sunny, so those guys are locked in on those used tires. That's good for us, as those tires will not last very long. Oh, 76 laps. Okay, 76 laps. All the more reason to go on the soft. Definitely not the ultras. Hell no. if the tire wear is bad enough, especially if there's no safety cars, we could end up with a one-stopper on the softs and not switching to the super softs. We'll see how long they go, how many laps are left when it's looking like we need to pit. Does allow us to push slightly early on. And with that, we are ready to go racing here in Cape Town, South Africa, with Lewis Hamilton on the pole. We'll see what the tire choice is beyond those top 12. Norris Supers, Albon Supers, Kvyat Supers, Gio, the first one to go on the softs. Most everybody on the Supers, which means they might end up with a two-stop strategy. And Felipe Massa from P24 starting the race on the Ultra Softs. He might be quick early on, but that is a terrible, terrible tactic. He is looking at least at a two-stopper, if not a three-stopper in this one. Kubica on the super softs as well. Magnussen, the first one, who will definitely have a one-stopper. Let's see, how many others? 1, 2, 3. Only 3 confirmed one-stop strategies in the whole field. So here we go. 5 red lights. We start from around the corner on this one. Can't even see the line at the start, but we make a good start for Van Dorn, but that's a lot of traffic. Vern a little slow off the line, but he holds his position. Van Dorn up to P18 after a couple corners. 3 wide again through that chicane, and 3 wide after the chicane. Van Dorn slides back a spot, but he's back up at least at the moment to P18. Vern is down to P22. And we've got a problem for Norris. Norris spun out there and is a little bit behind the rest of the field in P24. Vettel gets a good start and will round out lap number 1 in the lead. Stroll, with an amazing start, is in P2. He had the fastest lap, but Sainz makes its way around him up into P2. Down the order a little bit. Hulkenberg, also a really good start. Mercedes, really poor. Hamilton trying to fight back from P5 here. Leclerc, also not a very good start in P6. Verstappen 7, Bottas down to 8. It's Ricciardo in 9. That's not really a good start for him either, as he did start from P7. Raikkonen P10, Grosjean already down to P11, Gasly P12. The Ultras at the front. Gio, best of the non-qualifiers, non-Q3 qualifiers in P13, and first of those on the softs. Perez doing well, P16. It is Kubica all the way up at 17 with Russell in 18, battling each other at the moment. Then we are three wide right behind that with Vern battling just behind the Williams. It is now Van Dorn, who has just gone around Alonso in 19 and 20, and now teammates battling one another. Van Dorn losing out there, and Alonso benefiting from it, unfortunately. We are compact with the Williams onto the back of the grid. Norris is caught up, still in 24th. Massa, with his quick ultras, only having gained 2 positions so far, and actually just repassed by Norris now. So Magnussen in last place at the moment. You can see it's really tight here from Russell through Magnussen. Vern, a little bit of separation now. Let's drop to neutral before those tires heat up too much. We'll keep pushing with the engine though. It's a short lap, so there will be times where we do get lapped on this one. So I can afford to be a little bit pushy. Vettel out to a 4-second lead over Carlos Sainz. Hamilton's recovered to 3rd place now. I think we've kind of settled off on positions. It's still the same top 12. Giovinazzi still next best. Kvyat has gone around Albon. Albon's still in Toro Rosso here. It was just changed in real life, has not been changed in game. Perez, Kubica, and then Verne. So we're in a good spot right now with 18th and 20th. Splitting the Williams. We're ahead of both Alpines with Alonso behind Van Dorn. So we got back around him. Field starting to open up. Massa down in 22nd will pit early because of the Ultras. Norris has dropped back down to last place again, so I don't know if he spun out a second time or what. The field is pretty compact from 2nd through 24th, from one McLaren to the last McLaren. Meanwhile, Vettel, the one benefiting from that, opening up a 6-second lead, could be cruising towards victory here. Norris trying to fight back again, this time battling Magnussen. Those two both really, really off the pace compared to their teammates, who are well ahead of them. And meanwhile, at the front, again, Vettel pulling away a good margin and getting further and further and further ahead. Sainz, who's off to a tremendous start. You can see just how much wear he has in those tires to be in the position he's in. So he is pushing way too hard to get a little gap. And remember, it's the top 12 on the Ultras, and if Sainz pit right now, he would lose roughly 20 seconds, which would put him sandwiched in between us, which, by the way, Van Dorn just got around George Russell. So Van Dorn moves up a spot. Now P19 is at the head of that train, but only just got there. Russell immediately fighting back, though, so Van Dorn having to defend. Little gap as Verne has pulled away. 2.5 seconds clear. And we are definitely going to have to drop off on the fuel here pretty soon. Verne's got a gap, so why don't we go ahead and go neutral for him now. Van Dorn's going to have to keep pushing to try to keep this position. And now other gaps are really starting to show up in the field, as it was compact from 2nd to 24th. Now you've got Sainz with Hamilton closing him down, really starting to pressure him. Leclerc has joined that, so we've got a trio of cars here. And then Bottas, just now having recovered to 5th place, has a gap up to where Leclerc is. He's 4.5 seconds down. He could start to close him down. Sainz is going to pit here really soon. Stroll has just dropped to 6th place, fallen back pretty quick. Hulkenberg and Ricciardo have recovered a bit, though Sainz and Stroll obviously are still ahead of them. Terrible start for Verstappen and Gasly, as they are in 9th and 11th on the grid still. Verstappen, of course, recovered to the point where he is pressuring the Renaults and trying to have a move, but he cannot get by Hulkenberg now. Hulkenberg has been passed by Ricciardo, so Ricciardo now ahead of his teammate and should close down Stroll here pretty quickly. Sainz into the pits. Sainz already into the pits, so opening stop of the race goes to Carlos Sainz, and he's going to come out behind the first 12. So first of those to pit, and he was in a good enough position that he's now out ahead of the rest of the field. So pretty good stop for him. He pushes hard, and actually I think that really is going to pay off for Sainz. Sainz could end up with a pretty good position in this race, as he's going to be able to go a lot longer on this stint. It's lap 12 now, so he got 11 laps out of those, which is not good. Stroll's going to have to pit here pretty soon, and I think Stroll's going to come out kind of in the middle of this pack, and that's going to hurt him. Sainz is going to be able to pull away from Gio, a few seconds down from him. Gio, of course, also in a good position as best of the rest, first on the softs. He should be on the one stopper, so I think Giovinazzi is definitely going to be in a strong position. But of course, Sainz, he's going to have one more stop, but is out in front of him. So Sainz should stay ahead of Giovinazzi. But Giovinazzi, some of these guys, Grosjean, Raikkonen, Gasly, Verstappen, Ricciardo, maybe, Hülkenberg, maybe. These guys are all going to come out behind this pair. Stroll as well. So Gasly pitting now. Gasly, wow, that's an early pit stop for him. And he's at the back end of the top 12. So you see here he comes right out in front of Verne. So, and Gasly, let's see, what did he put on? Gasly on the super softs will stop again. So he's got us covered off the back end of the field, but he definitely does not have the midfield covered off. Kubica is still up there at P16. I'm sure Gasly will get ahead of him. Albon probably, but Perez, Giovinazzi, maybe Kvyat might be far enough ahead. Comes the next wave of pit stops. So Giovinazzi up into P9. Stroll comes out on another set of ultras. That's going to mess his race up as he will stop in another 13 laps or so, maybe 14. And that's going to leave a lot of race left. So Stroll's looking at least at a two-stopper. Gasly, Raikkonen on the super softs, Grosjean on the super softs. One more stop will definitely do it for them. Stroll could be looking at a three-stopper and not a two-stopper for this race. But like I said, Sainz got far enough ahead that he's ahead of all these guys. These guys are going to hold Stroll, Gasly, Raikkonen, Grosjean up. Grosjean all the way behind Verne. So really poor job by him, and that puts us ahead at the moment of both Haas cars. At least Verne is. Vandoorne needs to back off now. He's only in P20, but he has burned through a lot of fuel. Vettel's coming, but Vettel's going to pit pretty dang soon. Hamilton now, making those tires last longer, is clearly P2. But Leclerc, who dropped off the pace, just now pits. He and Bottas both pitting on this lap, and they're going to come out. Bottas comes out behind Sainz. So Sainz has stayed ahead of Bottas. So great job by Sainz there. He's in a really strong position. Of course, he will pit a lot sooner. But Leclerc right now on top of those who have pit once. So he has done a long overcut here. Verstappen's going to pit this lap. Verstappen's going to drop well down the order. Hülkenberg will drop well down the order. So at the moment, Leclerc is in a virtual P2 or P3. It's pretty close between him and Hamilton. But I would imagine, it depends on the times actually, but I would imagine that Hamilton's going to eventually come out as P2. Even if he comes out behind Leclerc, I think he'd get around him pretty quick with fresher tires. Maybe not, though. Maybe not. Bottas battling Sainz right now, taking P5 away with the fresher tires that will hold. But again, Sainz is looking like he could very well be in P5 today with this strong start to the race for him. Hülkenberg is going to pit this lap. Pulls off into the pits. We'll see how far he drops down the order. There we go. On his way out, 8, 9, 10, 11th place. 11th place for Hülkenberg. And that is just behind Gasly. 12th place for Hülkenberg. 2 cars left to pit. It's Vettel and Hamilton of the original top 12. Hülkenberg trying to make a move on Gasly. Gasly's tires are a little bit used, and Hülkenberg gets around him. Hülkenberg definitely a few spots down from where he was pitting as late as he did, but with the fresher tires, you already see he's able to get back around Gasly. Now having a look at Stroll. Stroll quick. because of the ultras, but Stroll's going to pit an extra stop compared to everybody else. Only car on the ultras right now besides Vettel and Hamilton. And Vettel into the pits. First stop of the day. We'll see what tires he comes out on. It's the Super Softs. He'll have one more stop to go. And he is still in the race lead as he comes out. Hamilton from P2, as I expected, he would stay P2. He stays ahead of Leclerc by a good 4 seconds. So, gap's pretty big. Vettel could be on his way to a race win, but Hamilton may have the pace to chase him back down. He was on pole after all. He had a bad start though. But I think Vettel is at least looking at a top 2 for this race. Leclerc, P3, could be battling with Bottas for 3 and 4 the rest of the race. Sainz, though, may have done enough to get P5 for this race, which is a fantastic result for McLaren if that holds. Gio still has not pit, but because of the one-stop strategy, I think he will definitely stay in the top 10. Kvyat's going to be pitting pretty soon, though. He might not have a top 10 secured at this point. Perez could be fighting for a top 10 in the end, but I would imagine he'll at least fight for a top 12. Hülkenberg, having recovered to P9 now, virtually is P6 in terms of pit stop strategy. However, he could still be only about 7th or 8th, depending on Gio. Gio's going to pit soon, but then Hülkenberg will pit soon after. Albon's going to be pitting pretty soon, so that's going to knock him back down the order a bit. Stroll, his P11, and those ultras messed up his strategy. I don't think he will be in the top 10. Verstappen, though, terrible day, but could and should be good to go the distance from here. So if he can improve that form a bit, he may work his way back up the order to, I don't know, P7, P8. Gasly, Super Softs will pit again, so not good to go the distance. And stuck behind his teammate at the moment. He's on the better tire, but he's going to pit a lot sooner. So he's going to have to make his way around and around Stroll if he's going to have a decent finish today. Ricciardo all the way down at P14. Did he double stack with Hülkenberg? I don't know. He's going to pit again, so Ricciardo's race is fairly well ruined at this point. Grosjean has not pit yet, and he's already down to P16, so not looking too good for him at this point in time. Grosjean should not get into the points. Raikkonen, I doubt he'll get into the points, even though he's already stopped. Here is Verne in P18. Magnussen is slowly making his way through the field, but he has not pit yet, depending on what he does with that pit stop. We'll see where he ends up, but he's definitely out of contention for points, as are we. But I think we could be in or around the position we're in now, depending on what everybody else does with their pit stops. Kubica is going to be stopping here really soon, so we will move ahead of him, at least temporarily. Magnussen, again, has made his way up through the field, but only P19. Norris is going to pit here really soon, and that's going to set him back depending on what he does. It's going to mess him up. Russell pitting this lap. We'll stay with him, see where he comes out. Probably in last place, I would imagine. But maybe not. He might come out ahead of Massa. Massa is going to have to pit again. If Russell puts on the softs, he'll be good to go to the end, maybe. I mean, there's still a good 50 laps to go, and I don't think those softs are going to make it 50. 45 is what they should, so he comes out on the super softs, so he will have to go one more before ultimately putting on super softs to the end. So Russell comes out, P22, that's a pretty good stop. It's a pretty good stop. I expected him to be behind Massa. He doesn't come out behind Massa, he comes out in front of him. Massa's used super softs. He's already been lapped. Yellow sector 3, and it's Perez. Perez has crashed and cut just where he was at the wall there before it cut him back to the garage. So Perez, first casualty out of the race. Massa has gone up a spot from last, and actually he's about to move up to P22. I think the crash was right about here. Yes, so it was coming off that chicane where he hit the wall, knocking himself out of the race. Meanwhile, Grosjean, who just made his second stop of the race already, the Haas that qualified well, is now way down the order, and he's on super softs. Those aren't going to last, so he's going to have a 3-stop race at the very least. Has really messed up his day. So Haas actually showing signs of how it is in real life, as it's quite slow. Now, Verne running in P15. He's got the fuel. He's saving that up. We're at 40%. Van Dorn, tire wear is a lot worse. Fuel is a lot worse. Where is he in P18 in relation to race leader? He's going to get lapped here pretty soon. Already worn tire notification at 30%. There is Vettel just behind us. By the way, Hamilton has cut 6 seconds out of Vettel's lead in the last handful of laps, as here comes Vettel about to lap Van Dorn, and Van Dorn now a lap behind, has about half a lap worth of fuel to burn. We're going to turn this up here as it is just about time for him to pit, and that's 43 laps to go, and he's only made 33 laps on these tires. So it's looking like it's going to be a 2-stop race for Van Dorn, because I thought we would get about halfway, and that has not happened here. That has not happened at all. And at 20%, it's time to pit. So, what we can assume 34 laps is all we can get out of these. That would make us 68, leaving 8 laps to go, and the Ultras can get us to the end. I think that might be the way to go, as we do have our bonus on the soft tire, and he's running P17, so it's not like we have terrible pace with them. But unfortunately, this was not the strategy that I was hoping for when we started this race. These tires are not lasting terribly long. Verne is going to last a bit longer, and he may squeeze out a 1-stopper on softs. Let's go ×2 here. Van Dorn, we'll stay with you through your pit stop. And he enters from P17. It's a good stop. It's a quick stop. That was a 3.13. That's really not that good of a stop. But Van Dorn comes out in P22. Alonso pitting right now, fixing the problem. So Alonso, the only car behind us, actually comes out behind Massa, behind Grosjean. That's not good. That is not good at all. Let's go ahead and leave you pushing for a little while. Maybe you can get back around Massa with your fresh tires. Maybe back around Grosjean. But we're going to go ahead and change our focus now to Verne, who we're going to start pushing because he just got lapped by Vettel. So he's now got a lot of fuel to spare. Tires. We'll push here in a moment. There we go. And let's see. He just started a new lap. So actually, attack. This is your lap to come in. Please do not crash, though. P14, right behind Stroll. Stroll just got around us, and Stroll is on Ultra Softs again. 37 laps. What is that going to do? We've got 39 to go. So you're going to stay out another lap, actually. So we're going to burn these tires. He's going to go an extra lap. 38 will be halfway. Which means we're going to try the 1-stopper with Verne. Now lap 38. And now putting on softs to go to the end. So Van Dorn's going to have that extra stop. Verne will not. He's going to be a little slow this lap. He's under pressure from Magnussen, who has not stopped yet himself. But Verne defending well for the moment. Good, he stays ahead of him, at least on track. He's going to be coming in here in just a moment, down to 16% on the tire wear as we pushed extra hard there. We're going to keep him on high fuel but neutral on the tires for a while. And he comes out in P19, well ahead of Van Dorn. And he is ahead of Grosjean. He is ahead of Massa, and that's good. All these guys in front are going to have to pit again. In fact, everybody in front will have to pit again. Verne is the first car that is now good to go till the end of the race. Van Dorn is more than half a lap behind already, so we're going to allow him to push a little bit longer. But as we are low on time for the episode, it is definitely time to speed things along. The Haas of Magnussen just pit. Grosjean has gotten around Verne. We're going to push Van Dorn for just a couple laps here. Heat those tires up just a little bit. Up to P21, somebody just pit. And that is Massa. Massa just made his second stop, and I don't think he's good to go to the end. P20, P21 right now. Grosjean's going a little bit faster, but he's definitely going to stop again. Ricciardo just made his second stop. He is good to go to the end of the race now. Albon just stopped. I don't think those tires are going to make it 30 laps. Van Dorn, that's enough fuel burning for now, even though you're about to get lapped. But his form is quite low at the moment. Russell has pit, comes out in between the two cars. We've got 15, 16 seconds between them now. And Van Dorn's going to have to make that extra pit. Albon has crashed. Local yellow. So he crashed in around the traffic circle. Vettel pit a second time. Hamilton pit a second time. That got us unlapped, at least temporarily. Verstappen's going to pit here really soon. Hamilton's good to go to the end of the race. Vettel, not so sure about. The gap has opened back up. Vettel's on a better tire, so Hamilton is dropping back. If Vettel makes it the distance, he'll win the race. If not, then it looks like Hamilton could be the race winner, but Bottas has caught his teammate, though I think Bottas will end up having to pit again. Sainz is definitely going to pit again, and he is back up there in P5 where he was, and he's 15 seconds clear of Ricciardo. So quick check-in with the field. We'll slow it down. Let's go ×4 on the speed for now. So Vettel in the race lead. If he makes it the rest of the way without a stop, he'll win this race. In the meantime, he's pulling away from Hamilton, opening up a gap that even if he stops, maybe he will win the race anyway. But there is Bottas. He has caught Hamilton. He's on a better tire. He's going to make his way around for now, but he is going to stop again. So he's going to have to pull quite a bit away from Hamilton if he is going to stay in P2. But otherwise, those two very well could be on the podium both as the Red Bull makes it his way around, but he's a lap down. That's Gasly battling with them. Gasly on fresh tires. Bottas and Hamilton still battling for position. Woo! Hello. Sainz in a collision with... who was that he spun around? I don't know, but Sainz is going to have to pit. That just ruined his brilliant race. He was lapping somebody, and he spun them out. You can see he's way off the pace right now with a puncture. Carlos Sainz, your race completely ruined. Ultras, those may make it to the end. 13 laps, probably, if he doesn't do too much wear. But from P8, 12 seconds behind Hülkenberg. He might catch him. Verstappen, though, may not make it the distance, though I think he will. Bottas and Leclerc, I don't think they will. Verstappen should be good to go. Vettel is still iffy. Ricciardo's definitely good to go. So Ricciardo at this point, well, it's 40 seconds. So no, Ricciardo now looking like P5 is likely. Verstappen, P6 is likely. He might catch Ricciardo for P5. Brakes. Problem with the brakes for Van Dorn. It's 12 laps to go. He could... It should make it, but I'm not so sure. Let's go ahead and speed him back up, though. That is going to put pressure on those brakes. He is going to have to stop again. Meanwhile, Vern is up to P15. Van Doren is P19, but Van Doren is going to have to pit again, so it's going to drop him down. He will come out behind Massa, but ahead of Alonso. It's 50 seconds is the gap there. And I think, actually, we're going to pit Van Doren here pretty soon. We'll see how long it takes to fix the brakes. I may do it. Time to push a little bit. Also time to push here as you have saved up fuel again. 40% wear for Vern. It's going to be tight, but he should make it the distance. He made it that far in the first stint. Okay, one more lap for Van Doren. Let's go ahead and attack on this lap. Safety car! Perfect time. Let's pit. Oof, do I want to pit both cars? I think I do. I do. I'm going to pit both cars. As the safety car comes out, this is perfect time. Take the Ultra Softs and push. And it's also time to make this stop for Van Doren and fix the car up. 13 seconds. Yeah. Oh. Pause. Vern. Oh gosh. Did he just pass pit road? He might have. Try to be quick here. Take a little risk. That's pit road right there. That is pit road right there. Please be ahead of the safety car. He should be. Well, Vettel's there. It's going to be tied to Vettel. I don't know if I want to pit now. 8 laps to go. Cancel Vern's. We're going to keep the track position. Turn that down. Good. Ahead of the safety car. Let's go conserve a little bit. Just 1 lap left. It's Albon who just... No. Albon had already crashed. It's a Mercedes. It's Bottas. Bottas has crashed. Same place that Albon crashed. From P4. Wow. Leclerc is pitting. Raikkonen is pitting. We just saw also right behind Raikkonen, who was behind you there in 21st. That's Massa just pit. Easy. Conserve. Low. Save that fuel. Vern, go back to neutral. We don't want these tires to get cold. Vern stays in P15. Really? I would have given up 3 positions, though, if I pit. I would have given up 3 positions if I pit. And wasn't willing to do that. He's going to move up to P14. The guys behind him did not pit. Magnussen, Russell, Grosjean, none of them pit. Kind of regretting right now not pitting, but at the same time, the track position, we're going to fight for it. We're going to be able to attack. We have the fuel, 6 laps to go. That should help counter not having the fresh tires. And meanwhile, Van Doren is caught a further lap down. He is behind safety car. So Van Doren, he is Kubica. He's battling Kubica for 19th, but he's not going to get higher. We could have gone up a lap, but we're time-wise Hulkenberg. This is 6th through 17th, while this will be 18 through 21. Heading to the garage, safety car heading to the garage. Let's bring it around, and wait, okay, pause. Safety car heading out. So we're going to go overtake mode. We're going to push, and overtake. Now, overtake we can't go for long. Vern, not a good start. What the heck? Come on, come on, get him, stay ahead. There you go, P14. Oh gosh, here comes. Oh, it's Red Bull. He's in 4th. That's Verstappen. Come on, stay ahead of the Haas. Stay ahead of the Haas. Thank you. They're not on fresh tires either, but they're on super softs. Here comes the other Haas. I can't stay on this mode for long. We're going to go through that last straight. Well, the front straight. We'll go through the front straight. And then we'll back off. Yes, yes, yes. Onto the front straight. Oh gosh, here comes Renault. Should be ahead of us. Yes, 5th place. Okay, that's good. That's good. We're already through. Go down to high. Oh no, the fuel load's already gone. Oh, you burned through it that fast? We burned through it too fast. Vern still in P15. Yellow flag, sector 3, Lance Stroll, Giovinazzi, big crash right in front of us, and we get caught out. We get caught out. The Haas steals a position. Stroll, 10-second penalty. We'll be ahead of Stroll. But now here comes the Williams too. No. Giovinazzi spun. But he's still ahead of us. Gio recovers. These guys all battling. Stroll's got a 10-second penalty, so we will be ahead of him. But we slide to the back. Unfortunately, I really should have pit during the safety car, taken the ultras, and tried to fight back. P19 and P17, and Vern is at the back end now of those on this lap. But we've got to keep fighting because... oh, another! Woo! Hello, hello! Up to P14. Norris, Hulkenberg, Russell, all under investigation. Hulkenberg, 10-second penalty. So we're ahead of Hulkenberg. We're ahead of Stroll, technically. 21st. That is Massa. Massa has a problem. Russell has a problem. Oh, okay, okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Norris has a problem. Van Dorn is 2 seconds behind Kubica. I don't know if he has a penalty or not, but that is for position. This is for position. Norris getting by. He's on the super softs. Can't push anymore. Tires are hot. We're at 22%. Coming up on the last lap, but for now, you've got to try to neutralize, conserve for a little bit. Stroll is still right there. Hulkenberg's behind us, so we're ahead of those two technically. With the penalty, Norris, I don't think he's got any penalties. Van Dorn, you have the tire wear. Just attack. Give it your go. Come down on that though. Back to neutral. Back to push. That's okay. He is not a threat. He is not a threat. We will be ahead of Hulkenberg. He's got a 10-second penalty. Stroll is 3 seconds ahead. He's got a 10-second penalty. Neutral. Van Dorn finishes in 19th. That will stay the same unless Kubica has a penalty, which I don't think he does. Vern crosses in 16th, but he'll move ahead of Hulkenberg and Stroll. So he'll be in 14th at the worst. Now, both Alpines are behind us. Both. Yeah, there you go. Stroll and Hulkenberg both dropping down the order, so Vern goes P14. So yes, that is how that worked out. Vettel takes the win. Hamilton takes second. And we get a P14. That's a decent result. That is a decent result. very much in the mix at least. Certainly like that. Pull off the one-stopper, but I really should have turned that into a two-stopper and gone for the ultras and tried to battle through. But we don't have a lot of pace, so it's hard to battle through. But when those guys didn't stop, they were still better tire wear, better tires than we were. And I should have known that and stopped. We absolutely would have stopped if we weren't already in front of pit road at that moment. But taking that extra lap around made me nervous. Norris, 10-second penalty. How's he in front of us? Norris was not 10 seconds clear. We move up to 13. What happened? Alonso and Grosjean both demoted to last for breaking rules. Bottas, Albon, Perez all crashing out. Massa with a 10-second penalty, so Van Doren takes P18. Kubica does stay just ahead of him, no penalty for him. Russell, Hulkenberg, Stroll, Norris, all 10-second penalties. I don't know how Norris, right? What? Really? I thought we were within a few seconds of Norris. He had just passed us. I think we should have been 12th, but okay. Apparently he got 10 seconds clear. Sainz took a 10-second penalty with his collision as well. That's a lot of guys with collisions late in that race battling for positions. But Vettel takes the race win, also gets fastest lap bonus. Hamilton takes P2, Leclerc. Verstappen all the way back up to P4 after a terrible start. Ricciardo, good finish for him in P5. Gasly, P6. Raikkonen gets P7 after all that. He was about P11 just before the end there. Kvyat all the way up to P8. Sainz, after a great race, only ends up in 9th. Magnussen all the way up to P10 from P22 to start to get the final point. Still not in the points. We're ahead of Massa and Russell in terms of best finish position, but Kubica is well ahead of us. Albon's ahead of us. And then, of course, the other Alpine, the McLaren now of Norris into the points. That hurts. That hurts. Kvyat up into the points. So right now, Williams and us, the only ones not to score points. And Williams, Kubica, has finished ahead of us. So we are technically in last place right now after 5 rounds. But I think we will get points before the end of this season. It will happen. It better happen. That's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer, and remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe, and tune in next time on my Road to the Record. Bye for now.